Oh Peter, with the pigeons not flying out, with them being stood, what additives do you add to the corn to keep them in such good feather?
Well, as you know, like, my pigeons don't fly out. They get plenty of space here because I've got some nice aviaries. But I like to control the pigeons as well, you know, in the stud. Don't like wild pigeons.
No.
And as you know, when you've been in many times, they're quite tame. But what I use all Klaus products. You know, I've often said to people, like, they're the only products I use, and the Klaus products seem to do the business for me. They've got all the ingredients in them, minerals, and amino acids, everything that the pigeon can't get when it's locked up, obviously. Like, I'll use a lot of vitamins as well. I do give me vitamins to the pigeons. Vitamina, that's a Klaus one. I also use a lot of garlic. If there's no vitamins in the water, there's garlic in the water. Yeah, I use fresh garlic as well. You know, I'll put it in and I'll boil it, put some hot water on it, squash it, and leave it in for a couple of days. And I'll clean it out, and then they get vitamins. So all the time they're actually getting something in the thing. And I'll just show you. You know, like during the when we get say the close season, then in the morning my pigeons will get just a touch of red band for the breakfast with a little bit of barley. That's the breakfast.
That's the breakfast.
And then 2 or 3 times a week, I will add additives to the main food. I try to keep half barley, half best all round during the close season. And so what I do is, say I've got me corn here, right? I'll get I'll use maize germ oil, not all the time, but I'll use like a little bit of maize germ oil, or sometimes it's a little bit of garlic oil. And I'll just pop a little bit in like that. This makes the powder and the supplements stick to the corn.
Stick to the corn.
Yeah, so what I'll do is I'll just give it a little bit of a stir like this. Now you just hold that for me, Mike. So what I'll do then, this is it's a Klaus product, and it's a reviver, right? So you don't need a lot of it. So I just put a little bit of that on like that. And this is super build, right? It's another additive. Same again, just a little bit like that. That's all. Then I'll mix them together. They get different ones different times. But the most important one, which is, as you know, I've been talking to Danny Lister, who's won a lot of first prizes with my pigeons. And he stands by this stuff. Pickering.
Yes.
Now this has been on the market for a few years from Klaus. He started using it, and so does a lot of other fanciers. This is a bodybuilding additive. It's fantastic. And you know, if that, people say that you can't get a winner out of a tin. Well, no. Danny Lister stands by that stuff. Yeah, and I just add the same again, a little touch of that, 2 or 3 times a week. You know, mix it round, and that's what they get.
And that's what keeps them into such good feather.
Oh yeah, all the time. You know, I mean, they do the feathers brilliant on the pigeons.
Fantastic.
But what I do like is, as I say, I do give a lot of garlic. But the most important thing, I think, with the pigeons, and as I say, you can use any tea if you want, but I use Klaus tea. And I think if you give them tea, brew the tea for 10 days, maybe 2 or 3 weeks before you pair up, this cleans the pigeon out. And I've found this over the last 5 years. I use tea every week, 1 day a week. But for that 10 days, I'll put them straight on.
Full 10 days.
Yeah, and then before we start to breed, I'll treat them for as a preventative for cocci, canker, and I have some good stuff from Klaus for a crop infection, so that clears them out. And then I use the Lincospectum for the breathing, for the respiratory, just to make sure that they don't catch it.